I'm going to show you how to make one of the cuddly toys from the Toy and Applique gift set collection from Kreative Kiwi. For this I'm going to be using a 5x7 hoop, a layer of invisible mesh per hooping, and there will be 2 hoopings, a selection of thread colours, some T-pins, masking tape, my squizzers and my fabric cut to size. If you're going to be using a long piled faux fur for your cuddly toy, you're going to want a layer of solvay topper to place over the top of it, so to prevent your foot from getting caught up in the pile. You'll find a link to this design in the video description below, and if you would like a chance to win Kreative Kiwi loyalty points to the value of this design, then just keep on watching, as details will be given further on in the video. We're going to start off by hooping our layer of stabilizer. So place your stabilizer over the hoop, insert the frame, and then we're going to pin around the top edge of our hoop, and that's going to stop our stabilizer from being pulled down between the 2 hoop pieces. So take your pin, place it on top of the hoop, the inside hoop frame that is, push it through your stabilizer, bring it round and back through the stabilizer again, and that will anchor it. You're going to do that on all 4 sides, and the larger your hoop, the more pins you will use. I've chosen to do the teddy today. There are 3 options in the set. There's a teddy, a monkey and a piggy. So load the file for the body of the teddy into your machine, along with a neutral thread colour. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 1, and that's going to give you your placement outline for your fabric. We're next going to place our fabric over the outline, and I've put a piece of paper under here just so you can see my outline, because I'm using a silver colour, grey silver colour thread. So place your fabric over the outline, and if you're using a faux fur, you're going to place your solvay topper over the top, and then we're going to tape it in place. Then we're going to pop our hoop into our machine and stitch round number 2, and that's going to baste our fabric in position. We're now going to stitch round number 3, and that's going to give you the outline of the teddy. We're now going to stitch round number 4, and that's going to give you your fabric placement outline for his tummy. We're now going to place our fabric for his tummy over this area here. So place your fabric over the outline, and if you're using another piece of faux fur, you're going to want to place a piece of solvay topper over the top as well. I'm not using a faux fur for the tummy, so I'm just going to tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 5 to secure it in place. Trim away the excess fabric from around the edge of the belly, taking care not to cut any stitches. Load your thread colour for the satin stitching around the edge of the belly into your machine, and then stitch round number 6, and I'm staying with the silver. Load your thread colour for the little heart into your machine, and then stitch round number 7, and I'm going with silver. So next we're going to place our backing fabric, and we're going to place it face down, so you've got right sides together, over the top of the front, and tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 8, and that's going to secure the fabric in place. We're now going to stitch round number 9, and that's going to do the outline of the body. So that's our stitching for this segment done. We can now turn our hoop over, and we're going to remove the stitching. I'll just turn this around so that you can see here, this top line of stitching here, because at the moment that's keeping the neck opening closed. So I'm just going to snip the stitches and then just remove them. And that's our neck opening open now. So next we're going to free this from the hoops. I'm just going to take my pins out. And then working from the back, we're going to cut around the edge, leaving about a 1/4 inch seam allowance from the stitch line. And at the neck here, we're just going to cut straight up, and then we'll trim this a little bit longer so that it makes stitching the neck easy. Where you come to under the arms here, we're going to snip straight up to the stitch line. Don't cut your stitches, whatever you do, but that's going to prevent any wrinkles under the arm. And same again for the under this arm. And I'm going to leave a good 3/4 of an inch here. Then everywhere where there's a curve around here, here, we're going to snip towards the stitching without cutting the stitching, of course. And this is going to help our seams lay nice and flat once we turn it out the right way. We can now turn the body out the right way. And we can remove the stabilizer. And that's the body part complete, and we can now set our work aside for the minute. We're now going to do the head, so load the file for that. We're now going to do the head, so hoop and pin your stabilizer as before. Load the file for the head into your machine along with your neutral thread colour. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 1, and that's going to give you your fabric placement outline. And I'm going with the silver again. We're now going to place our fabric over the outline, and if you're using a faux fur with a long pile, you're going to want to place a layer of Solvay-Topper over the top as well, and then secure it all in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 2 to secure it. We're now going to stitch round number 3, and that's the outline of the teddy's head. And I'm staying with silver. Load your thread colour for the shading inside of his ears into your machine, and then stitch round number 4, and I'm staying with the silver. Load your thread colour for the white of the eyes into your machine, and then stitch round number 5, and I'm going with white. Load your matching bobbin and thread colour for the black of the eyes into your machine, and then stitch round number 6, and I'm going with black. Load your thread colour for the colour of his eyes into your machine, and then stitch round number 7, and I'm going with blue. Load your thread colour for the nose into your machine and then stitch round number 8, and that's going to do your placement outline for your nose fabric, and I'm going with silver. Place your fabric for the nose over the outline and tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 9 to secure it. If you want to pad the nose a little bit, now's the time to do so. And I've got some stuffing here, and we're just going to put it inside here, and there's a gap for you to be able to do this. It's purely optional. Don't overstuff it though. And make sure that you even it out nicely so that you don't end up with a lumpy nose. Just going to squish that a little bit. When you're happy with that, you're going to put a little bit of tape here just to hold that down flat. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 10, and that's going to close the nose. We're now going to stitch round number 11, and that's going to stitch around the nose again so that we've got a nice crisp line for when we come to trim up the excess fabric from the nose. Trim away the excess fabric from the stitch line of the nose, taking care not to cut your stitches. Load your thread colour for the satin stitching around the nose into your machine, and then stitch round number 12, and I'm staying with the silver. So now we're going to add our backing fabric, and we're going to place it face down over the top of the front, so right sides together, and tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 13 to secure it. And we're now going to stitch round number 14, and that's going to do the outline of the head and secure our backing fabric in place permanently. We're now going to unpick the basting stitches at the bottom here by the neck, so turn your hoop over and just cut through them as we did for the body. Now we can free our work from the hoop. I'm just going to trim off some of this excess stabilizer. Okay, so as before, we're going to trim around the edge, leaving a 1/4 inch seam allowance and a bit more at the bottom here. And now we're just going to snip anywhere where there's a curve towards the stitch line, taking care not to cut our stitches, of course. And now we can turn the head out the right way. And push our ears out. And all our seams. And then we can remove the wash away stabilizer. And we're now going to stuff the head and the body. So now we're going to stuff the head and the body. I've got some filler here, and before you do, if you want a nice smooth toy with no lumps and bumps, just pull your fibres apart. It doesn't take long, but you'll get it's much easier to stuff with it. So I'm going to start off with the head. It doesn't matter which one you start with, but just push it into the ears and make sure that all the nooks and crannies are covered. You don't want to overstuff it either. Okay, so it's competition time. If you would like to win Kreative Kiwi loyalty points to the value of this design, like, subscribe and share, and tell me about your childhood cuddly toy. This competition will close at 6 p.m. Central European Time +2 on Sunday the 1st of September, and a winner will be picked at random from all the valid entries. So be sure to check back and see if it's you. Good luck and thanks for taking part. So now that our head and body are stuffed, we're going to take a very strong thread, and this really is very strong. And then we're going to run our thread all the way round so that we can pull it tight like a drawstring. So I'm going to start off at the side here, and we're going to follow, you've got a stitch line there, follow that all the way round. And then when you've got your two ends, you're going to pull them tight, but you're going to tuck the top edge down so that all the raw edges are hidden inside the body. And then you can tie it off with a nice secure knot. And I wrap my thread for the first round, I wrap it round twice and then pull it tight, and that will hold it nice and tight and secure. And just massage your filler to create a nice shape. And these ends, I will run them inside the body. So I'm not going to cut them off short, I will actually hide them inside. So now we're going to do the same with the head. And again, follow this line here all the way around. Again, I'm double wrapping my first knot. And then we're going to stitch the head onto the body like that. So I'm just carrying on with this thread here. And there is no easy way to do this, and I can guarantee that I'm going to fluff this up because I'm filming it, and I'm going to make it look really hard when it isn't. So I apologise for that. Just catching the head and then the body with my needle. Let's try it this way, it might be a bit easier. And same again with my knot, I'm going to wrap the end round twice the first turn. And on my little ends, I'm going to run them through. Just going to massage my filling around so that it lays all nice and neat in the right places. And that's our cuddly toy finished. I hope you enjoyed this stitch along. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified of new videos as soon as they're published. Do pop along to Kreative Kiwi's Facebook group. There's always lots of ideas, help and inspiration there for everybody. And thank you for joining me. You'll find a link to this design in the video description below, along with lots of other information such as where I get my supplies and some discount codes for you as well. Take care, and I'll see you next time.